So, hello. First of all, I want to quickly check how my audio is working here. So, okay, I think audio is fine. So, yeah, we can get started. So, today I want to have a look into MSTY Studio, which is an AI app that is really nice to work with. And actually, this is still early, so this is not finished yet. The reason I have access to it is that I have a lifelong license for the MSTY app. And with that, you get early access to the Studio app. And yeah, we will have a look into that. And I want to also show a little bit how we can work with MCP servers, and especially how we can use n8n to create our own MCP servers easily without coding and anything. So I will just share my screen here. So this is where you find more information about the MSTY app. And as I said, this is MSTY Studio, and you find it on msty.ai. And here you will have some general information about the app, and you will also, of course, have links to the documentation. And the big difference to the desktop app is really that you have kind of two parts to it. So you have a sidecar which will be installed on your local system, and that will provide the local models to MSTY Studio, and that will also provide the tools, for example, local MCP servers and so on and so forth. And yeah, then you have the web app, and that you can find under msty.studio to access it. And yeah, this is how it looks. It's very similar to the desktop app. And I don't want to go too much into installation because the documentation is quite clear about that. So let me check this. So, and here, of course, you have a quick start. So here it says how you connect it, how you use your license, and so on and so forth. And the most important part here really is the extra app that is called Sidecar. And this one you will need to use in order to get tools working over MCP, and also you need this to connect to your local models. So I have this on my system. Just let me check here. So this would just look something like this, and this has also the Ollama server under the hood. And in my case, I have an extra Ollama running because I have all of this GPU accelerated, and I actually like to maintain my Ollama instance by myself, really. So this is how it looks, and it's really easy to set up. You just do a couple of clicks, and then you're good to go here. And when you're in MSTY Studio, you have your, where is it? You have your model hub here. And here you can see what's connected. So we got a connection to MSTY Sidecar, and then we got Ollama Remote. That is from my local system here. And then I got an open router connection because I don't have individual accounts for OpenAI and Claude and so on and so forth. I just use open router. There I have all the models that I need, really. And here we have some local AI models. Yeah, hello, Glenn. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, here on the model hub, you can, of course, just need to move the windows here a little bit. You can set up your models and update your model provider, and this will download all the models from Olama, for example, and on OpenRouter. Of course, you can just search for the models you want to use, really. So and one thing that's different to MSTY Studio compared to the desktop app is that we can use tools more extensively. So when we have a look at tools, you can see I have already installed the default tools that come with MSTY Studio. And I have also installed some custom ones. And the important part to know here is really you see these ones here. So you need kind of the requirements. So if you don't have Node.js installed or Python 3 with UV, you will have red crosses here. So you kind of need to make sure that Node.js, Python, and UV are available in the environment where the MSTY sidecar is running, because otherwise you will not be able to use tools here. And what we also have here is we have kind of tool sets, and I have just prepared some very simple ones here. So as you can see here, this will just be a list of the tools, and on each individual tool set you can just enable any tool you want, really. So we will just start with some simple examples, for example. So let's have a look here. And how you can do that on MSTY, I hope this will work for me now, because this is, as I said, this is still early, and sometimes there are still some bugs here. So usually you select your model here, and then you can go to settings. And yeah, this most of the time does not really work for me. So let's try with another one. Now, okay, it doesn't work for me now. But when you go to, actually, I don't know if this is a general problem, but I tried this with Chrome, with Brave, and I have Vivaldi installed, which is also a Chrome variant. And the best results really I had with Microsoft Edge on Windows using this function here. And the only thing that will be done here is you will get an extra window, and there you have a checkbox where you can just enable tools for the models. And that's, of course, required if we want to work with tools here. So okay, I can see we get a little audio bug here. So yeah, that goes away. Yeah. Thanks, Glenn. I just heard it. That's just on the YouTube side. I don't know why. Then I just need to. I have some kind of open source multi-stream thing running on my server, and on YouTube sometimes this needs to be re-enabled to fix the audio. That's kind of a YouTube problem, I think. So I will just head back to the toolbox here, and let's see, what do we do here? So I will just, for testing, enable the file system here. And here you can see you have the tool configuration that is already in here. And just let me check where we want to go. And here I need to give it folder it is allowed to access. So I'll just take my username and I don't know, let's take my downloads folder and update it. And now I go for the toolsets, and I will just make a toolset for the file system here and just name it files. So of course we could just combine them, but when we have a look at the different variations, it's easier when we have them separate. And now I can just have a look here, and here I have my tool set. So here I have files, and I have a remote MCP server for Cloudflare documentation here, and also n8n. That's where we will build our own MCP servers later on. And just to start off with the files, I can just enable this tool set here, and then I can just, I don't know, just write, tell me what tools are available. Okay, it didn't really recognize the tool, so list or available tools. Now this is, I don't know, this is hallucinating. So what is the problem here? Let's try once more. Okay, now it for some reason did not recognize the file search tool, but we can easily also work with the Cloudflare tool here. So actually what this is, and just to show you quickly, is we have a Cloudflare tool here. And this is at the moment kind of a workaround really, because this is a so-called SSE variant of an MCP tool. So this MCP tool is not installed locally to my computer. This is a remote one that is provided by Cloudflare, for example. And right now this is not directly supported by MSTY Studio. So what you can do is you can just use kind of a proxy MCP tool, which is called Super Gateway. And Super Gateway is something you will just find on GitHub here. And with Super Gateway, you can just easily expose a local MCP server as an SSE variant, or you can turn an SSE variant into a local one. So you kind of proxy the different kinds of the servers here, and that will enable, in this case, the possibility to interact with the remote servers here, although MSTY Studio doesn't support it yet. So what we can do now is we have our toolset here, and I will just for now get rid of the files here. And I can just start asking and tell me about autoreg, for example. And now MSTY Studio will connect to the MCP server for Cloudflare and search the documentation for the information I have just asking it for. And as you can see, it will tell us here that it will search the documentation, and then it will just fetch the info we want here. And actually, at the moment, there are, I think, a lot of MCP servers built daily. So there are bigger websites where you get all of them listed, and there are a lot of very useful tools. You can just connect to your large language models with MCP. And but for me, I'm always looking a little bit at the business use case, and the large language models are kind of very general in the knowledge and in the functionality, and even the most of the MCP servers are kind of specialized. You have MCP servers, for example. A new one is just came from Baserow that will help you interact with the Baserow database, and that's a very specialized tool actually to interact with one service. And but what I find crucial, especially in the business context, is that we are able to build our own stuff and actually to make company internal processes available to large language models, because that will make them most useful for business use cases. So we can do that kind of in two ways, and actually we could kind of code our own MCP servers, and that's also, if you know a little bit of code, not very hard to do actually. But an even easier way is to use a tool like n8n. And for those of you who don't know it, I would just quickly go to the n8n website. And n8n is a automation tool that you can self-host or you can pay for in the cloud, and this will kind of connect, I don't know, hundreds of services, and you can create automated workflows. And over the last 1.5 years, they have also kind of specialized in AI, so you can build AI agents, interact with models, and so on and so forth. And in my case, I have a self-hosted variant, and I've just prepared just an MCP server trigger here, and that's kind of an empty MCP server right now that I can assign tools to, and then I can just connect it to MSTY Studio. So, for example, I could just have a look here, and let's say we have a Baserow tool here, and I got my Baserow credentials saved here already in the system. And then I can just do some settings for the tool I want to use. In this case, I would just keep it simple and just say, okay, the tool description will be set automatically. And then I can tell the system which resource I want to access. And in this case, I would just access the rows of my database, and the operation will be get many, and that's of course very equivalent what you will see on the API documentation. And then I can just select the database here, and I got a CRM demo from the last stream, and let's say we have a look in the contacts, and now I have a configured tool here, and I can just save my workflow here, and when I go back to MSTY Studio here, then I can go for my toolbox here, and just to show you this, here I have the URL to my workflow, which can of course also be found here. So I have a production URL, and that's actually the one I get from the n8n tool here, and just paste it in here. And of course you could just create an MCP endpoint in n8n that uses an authentication token. So with the super gateway, you can also send headers with tokens to make sure nobody else is able to use your MCP servers here. And now I can just, I don't know, let's just open up a new chat here. And I will just, hey Stefano, nice to have you on stream. Welcome back. And now I will just select Claude again, and let's say we take n8n here, and just ask for the available tools here. So just like this. And now you can see that MSTY Studio has talked to my MCP server here on n8n, and it says, okay, we didn't get much description, so we put that to auto. So this will of course be a little bit limited, but this is still good enough that I can just list all rows. Probably, we will see. Nope, this doesn't work for now. Let's see. Okay, list all rows. No, that doesn't work really. So let's have a look what's happening here. And let's see. Contacts. Okay, let's try it more detailed here. Use the Baserow tool to list. What does it say here? Let's take the right wording. So get all rows. No, it doesn't work. Okay. I tried that earlier and it was kind of working. So let's try this a little bit smaller. Okay, that's strange. I will just change the resource here and just have a look here if we can fix it. And just try it once more. Okay, now it's working. I don't know, sometimes it has that. And as I said earlier, this is still very early, and there's still a chance, as we are using this MCP proxy in between, that some things might not really work. For example, when I try to use the Baserow MCP server, which is also an SSE variant, this will not work with the proxy at all. So there are still some instances where this proxy method doesn't really work, but I really hope that the MSTY developers will include SSE later on for MCP servers here. So as you can see, this has fetched the data as from our database, and we can also just have a look here into the real database here. And here we have our lightweight CRM. And when we look at companies, you can see we have Acme Inc., Makers Co., and just let me make this a bit. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I cannot make it. Now I can make it bigger. Okay. So, and of course, these are the companies we have in our database, and the model was able to retrieve them. And when you build your own MCP server stuff here, actually that's kind of out of the box experience in this case. But for example, what you could also do is we could, I don't know, connect the Shopify tool here to retrieve data from an online store. And the store I have connected here is just a quick development store I have set up earlier. And what we can do here is we can, for example, get all the products and let that be defined by the model. We keep the original tool description, so the automatic tool description here. And I would just save this. And now we can just start a new chat here and list all tools available again. And let's take 3.5 Sonnet. And actually, I just got an email that Claude 4 is out and usable, but I'm not going to test that on the MCP stuff because 3.5 is still good enough here. So I need to enable my tools here again. So I would just take n8n and try once more. And here you can see it has access to the Shopify API. And I would just see if it will work out of the box. So I would just say, okay, please get all products for me. And now it will try to fetch all the products. And as you can see, this will kind of work out of the box. And of course, what we can also do is, and that's what's really making building MCPs with n8n powerful, is to kind of use our own workflows here as tools. So for example, let's try, can you tell me the URL of the main image? Okay, it also does that from the data. Okay, when I tried this earlier, this wasn't working and I had to build a workflow for it, but it doesn't matter. We will just build a workflow anyway, so you can see how you can build your own stuff really with this. So when we have a look here, and you can see that it retrieved the product images here. So another way we can just do that really is we can just start building our own workflow, and I have some empty ones prepared here, and we can just execute sub workflow here, and this is actually an input trigger really that will just wait to be executed by another workflow. And what you can do here is you can just for example, we want the model to specify the limit of entries we want to retrieve, and here you can just say, okay, I have a field named limit, and set this to a number. Oops. And just for building the workflow, we could just take, I don't know, 5 here. And of course, you can just take any kind of variations. So you can have easily different fields that are provided by the large language model. And now we can, for example, just connect the Shopify node here. And here we, okay, I'll just remove the boxes here. And here we can just say, okay, we get many products again. And we can just set the limit here to an expression and just drag this one in. So the value will automatically be set by the incoming value here. And we can just test our step here. And then we could just to keep it simple here, we could just add a set node here and just define what we want to give back to the model here. So we could just say, okay, we want the ID here and we want the title. And of course, we could just rename it for the output here. And let's see. We could probably just do the variance. The variance doesn't make sense here. But you get the idea. So you can just define a manual mapping here, and that is all that will get back to the large language model. So as you can see here, this will generate a JSON response here for, it will just have the ID and the title here. And now I can just save this workflow and head back to my MCP server here, and I could just tell, okay, call another workflow and name this one Shopify products. And then I can just give a description, call this tool to get, let's be precise, a list of products from Shopify. And then I can just select my workflow here. So Shopify products. And for the limit, as this is a very simple thing, we can just let the model define the parameter here. And now I can just save this workflow and remove this one. And now I can get back to MSTY Studio and let's start another conversation here and set the n8n tool once more and the model we want to use, and I will just start again. Oops. Now let's see what the model will say. Okay, that's funny. There is probably some kind of caching involved because, or no, I didn't save it. Huh, that's my bad. So we try once more. So Shopify products, and I don't know. I can just ask list 5 products from Shopify from you. Okay, and please give all available information. So let's see. Okay, and as you can see, the model just got only got the information we have kind of provided. So when we go back to our products here, we had just defined 2 fields. So we had an ID and we had a title, and that's all the model can access right now. And of course, this is a very, very simple example, and we could just easily get the URL for the images, for example, from the whole data set. But when we use this as an example, we could kind of attach a second tool here or make another workflow here for the product image. So what we can do here is we can just add execute sub workflow again. And for example, we could just do something like here. We can get an ID field, and we also make this a number. And let's, for testing, head over to MSTY Studio here. And just set some test data here. And now we can add Shopify here, and let's just say get a product, and we do a single product here. And here we need to supply a product ID. So we set this to an expression and just pull in our value. And as you can see here, I get the information for one product. And let's see. Down here we have the images. So what we can do now is we can just, when you don't set anything, the workflow will just return everything to the large language model. But if you want to have more specialized data, because you don't want to, the thing is really when you work with the large language models, I mean, they have really large context windows and so on and so forth. But in my experience, it doesn't make sense just to throw any data at them, because when the context gets longer and longer, this can still confuse even the big models. So I like to kind of return the data that is really important in this case. And for this case, we have a dedicated tool that has one function, and that will just get an image or an image URL for a given product ID, and that's all it should do in this case. So let's have a look at the images, and we just take the first image here, and I will just name this image URL. And here we got the image URL. And now I can just save this workflow and get back to my MCP server, and let's say just name this get products. And here I can just call another workflow and get image for product. And I, of course, need to name the tool, and then I can just say call this, oops, I cannot write today. Call this tool to retrieve an image URL for the given product ID. And now I can just select my product image workflow, and here you can see it already recognizes that this workflow wants to have an ID as an input, and this we can also define automatically by the model, and rename it here. And now I can just save my workflow. And when I head back to MSTY Studio, then I can just say, okay, please get me the image URL for the hydrogen snowboard collection. And now let's see what's happening. And as you can see, it could use just the additional tool, because previously we just had information about the name and the product ID, and now Claude just used the second tool here. And here we got our image. Yeah, Stefano. It takes a bit of trying out and experience, and I'm saying these things because people tend to overload things, but overload the models, and especially when it comes to workflow building. I see workflow building and tooling for AIs a little bit like programming. So when you program and you do a function, then a function should have a defined input and a defined output. And in an ideal case, the function should only do one thing. And that's really how I approach the things. And this will dramatically reduce the error rate when it comes to workflows and tools and so on and so forth. So, so as you can see, this is quite easy to build stuff here and to really get started with your own MCP servers. And yeah, as I said, a little bit, it's right now, it's a little bit difficult with MSTY Studio because we still need this proxy in between. And this makes it a little bit less reliable than the direct connection. But you can see we can get this working also right now. And I don't know when MSTY Studio will be really completely released and will be finished, but actually I'm really looking forward to this solution because I like the desktop app really a lot. That's a very well-made and polished app to interact with AI models, and I'm pretty sure they will also make a great job on this one here. So yeah, just for the workflows here, I mean, these ones are of course very simple, but you can kind of do anything really that you want here. So let's say we get a couple of more here, and we just do some, just for demo purposes, some other things here, so you can get a feeling on how that works. Actually, those of you who have followed my n8n videos and are using n8n, for you this will probably be just simple, but I had some people on the MSTY Discord looking forward to this, and they are probably newer to n8n, so I will just go into some of the basics here. So let's see, why is my title not pinned? So I would just, what did I have here? 30, save. So now I have retrieved a couple of more products here, and I don't know what we can do here, what we can easily do here in a tool like this. And this is really strong as a no coding workflow automation is. So we could, I don't know, make a switch statement here, for example. And then you can just define different routes. So for example, we could, let's see, we could just select by product type here. And I don't know, we just make the first one a gift card. And what we could also do is we could just rename the output here, but we won't do that right now. And now we can just add another route. Let's see what else do we have here when it comes to products. JSON. So, okay, that's a little bit easier because here on the JSON part, you can just fold it. And let's see, text status. Here we have a product type, accessories. So we can just go for accessories and just put this here. And no output data, why? So yes, Stefano, LibreChat is a great solution. Actually, it's especially when you have a lot of users. I mean, the project is pretty grown, and as I said in the start, Misty is kind of newer, and but LibreChat is a very stable and a very good solution, and I have worked with it a long time, and I still use it for some cases and at some customers really. So let's see. Here we can just I don't know really, just have a set node here and have another set node here, and just to have something here. So let's see. Why doesn't this work? Let's see. Output 1, did I put something wrong here? Let's see. So we have the product type, gift card, 17, okay. And let's see, what else do we have here? Let's look for snowboard. So why doesn't this work? That should be working. I don't know why. That's strange. Now I don't get product type is equal to. That's correct. Let's reload our workflow here. Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. Yeah, of course this needs to be an expression here. So, okay, now it's working. So we got 1 item here and 14 items here. And let's see. And this one we don't need. And as you can see, you could easily build more complicated workflows here that in the end will kind of return a response for the large language model, and that you can of course use here in MSTY Studio or in LibreChat or in any other MCP enabled tool here. And when you have a look here at the list, I mean, let's see, let's get back to the MCP here, and no, that's wrong. Where is it? So on the MCP server side, and when you just have a look at the tools here, you can see there's already a lot of stuff available for all kinds of different services. And this kind of makes it very powerful to use with the chat tool like Misty or LibreChat, because with this you can, yeah, as I said in the catchy stream title, supercharge your LLMs, because you can really make dedicated tools for business use cases, and that's it's also a lot of fun to build things like this. And of course, what you can also do is you can use this to build AI agents, for example. So these AI agents can, for example, just use any kind of MCP server. I showed that off in the last live stream where we were experimenting with Baserow MCP server. And there we could just easily just say, okay, we got an AI agent here in n8n, and just connect the MCP client to Baserow, and then it was able to work with our Baserow database. And when it comes to all of the different tools and workflows here, let's see, you can see here, I don't know, there are a couple of hundred, I think, apps you can just use and you can just connect and use to build all of your workflows and tools for AI. And and I don't know if there are any questions, just feel free to ask them. And for me, all I wanted to do today is just to have a look into MSTY Studio and how things are going here, also with MCP. And as I said, I'm really looking forward to have a finished version of MSTY Studio, because I really like that app and the idea. And of course, there are a lot of more features you can use here. And it's a really great tool to use. So So actually, that was a quite short stream for today. And if there are if there are no questions, I will just end it for now. And thank you all for watching. And if you have questions, just let me down in the comments. I will just keep this video up. And next week on Thursday, I have not really decided on a topic yet, but next week will probably be a little bit more, the topic will be a little bit longer, and I don't know, maybe I will do something for NixOS or something next week. So yeah, Glenn, actually, I have some ideas how to use this really. And actually, when you, for example, when you work in bigger companies and you have kind of a more complicated structure when it comes to permissions and so on and so forth, this scenario here to have a chatbot that you can give to employees, and then building really, let's say, specialized MCP tools that will kind of help to keep the structure within the company. Because right now, when you have the standard MCP tools, they are like kind of very broad and very general. And when it comes to companies that have certain restrictions, it is important that we build tools that are kind of more to the point, really, when it comes to permissions and what users can use and do with the data. And that's where I see a use case for building our own MCP servers, for example. And of course, we are just in the first steps here. I think the standard is, I don't know, half a year old. I think Anthropic released this last November. And now OpenAI has also jumped on board, and also many others. And of course, a lot of people are building MCP servers. But just in the business context, I really see companies building their own MCP servers to kind of tailor the things to their own processes. Because it's these general tools, they will most of the time not be perfect for any company, really. Yeah. So, yeah, if there are no more questions, I will just say thank you for joining me today. And as I said, I will also stream next week on Thursday. And I think today I'm also a little bit weird in my head. I had a long day and I had a couple of meetings, and I think I'm done for today. So all of you, have a nice evening, and